In today's world, our attention is constantly pulled in 100 directions. We are bombarded with notifications, updates, and endless streams of content, all designed to keep us engaged, often at the expense of our well-being. And this isn't by accident. It's the result of sophisticated systems built to extract as much of our time and focus as possible. So let's explore how to reclaim your attention, not through drastic measures, but through mindful, sustainable shifts in how you engage with the world. The hidden cost of constant connection. Modern digital platforms are engineered to maximize user engagement. Their design isn't about your benefit. It's about keeping you scrolling, clicking, and watching for as long as possible. So, how it works? Endless feeds eliminate natural stopping points, making it easy to lose track of time. Autoplay features launch the next video before you have a chance to reflect or disengage. Notification systems create artificial urgency, training us to respond instantly. Algorithmic curation prioritizes emotionally charged content, outrage, envy, curiosity, because it drives higher engagement. And the consequences are real. Fragmented attention spans make deep work and meaningful conversation harder. The illusion of staying informed often masks passive consumption without real understanding. Chronic exposure to curated highlight reel content fuels feelings of inadequacy and fear of missing out. The constant state of low-grade alertness contributes to anxiety and burnout. Redefining doing nothing. Doing nothing is frequently understood as idleness. In reality, it's a radical act of reclaiming your mental space. It means constantly choosing not to fill every moment with stimulation or productivity. What it actually involves: creating intentional pauses throughout the day, allowing your mind to wander without guilt, observing your surroundings without the impulse to document or share, accepting that rest and contemplation have intrinsic value. This kind of nothing is active in its resistance to the constant demand for output. It's the space where creativity, insight, and genuine relaxation can emerge. The power of local. The internet gives us access to the entire world, but this global focus can leave us feeling disconnected from our immediate surroundings. Shifting attention to the local can restore a sense of agency and belonging. So, why local matters? Global issues are often too vast for individual action, leading to paralysis. Local engagement provides tangible results you can see and feel. Familiar places reveal new layers when observed with intention. Strong local communities create resilience against broader societal pressures. Here are some practices to cultivate local awareness. Map your neighborhood on foot, noting details like plant life, architectural styles, or public art. Observe seasonal changes in a nearby park or green spaces. Participate in community events or volunteer for local causes. Support independent businesses or local producers. Document the history and stories of your area through conversations with long-time residents. Time as resistance. Our culture often treats time as a commodity, something to be spent, saved, or maximized for productivity. And this linear capitalistic view of time creates constant pressure. An alternative is to embrace time as a natural rhythm. There are two contrasting views of time: capitalistic time, linear, measurable, goal-oriented, valued by output and efficiency; and ecological time, cyclical, relational, process-oriented, valued by presence and connection. And here are some examples how you can shift your relationship with time. Schedule unstructured periods with no agenda. Embrace slow activities that have no product. Watching clouds, listening to rain, tending a garden. Align routines with natural cycles when possible, for example sunrise or sunset or seasons. Normalize taking as long as needed for meaningful tasks, rather than rushing to the next item. Strength in community. Individual efforts are important, but lasting change requires collective action. Building strong, intentional communities creates alternatives to the isolation and competition fostered by attention-grabbing platforms. And here are some forms of collective resistance. Establish device-free spaces and events within your social cycles. Create or join groups focused on shared interests beyond digital consumption. Book clubs, gardening collectives, skill shares. Support local institutions that foster face-to-face connection. Libraries, community centers, independent cafes. Advocate for public policies that protect attention and privacy. Limits on targeted advertising, digital well-being features in technology. Develop mutual aid networks that prioritize real-world support over virtual signaling. Art and observation as liberation. Artistic practices, whether creating or deeply engaging with art, train us to see the world differently. They cultivate the kind of sustained, non-judgmental attention that counters the rapid consumption encouraged by digital platforms. Here are some examples how art liberates attention. It requires slowing down to notice details, textures, patterns, and relationships. It encourages multiple perspectives and interpretations, resisting algorithmic simplification. It creates spaces for shared experience and dialogue outside commercial frameworks. It reminds us that meaning often emerges from process, not just product. Here are accessible practices for all. Keep a visual journal. Sketch objects, scenes, or abstractions without concern for skill. Practice slow looking at a single artwork, natural object, or urban scene for 5 or 10 minutes. Describe observations in writing, focusing on sensory details rather than judgments. Engage with local art and performance that reflects your community's stories and concerns. Beyond the digital utopia. Technology is often presented as an inevitable force for progress, but uncritical adoption can erode our autonomy and well-being. Recognizing the limitations of digital solutions helps us use technologies more intentionally. We often accept certain ideas about technology as truth, but let's look at what really happens. We are told that more information leads to better decisions. But in reality, information overload causes decision fatigue, pushing us to rely on algorithms instead. They say global connection means deeper community, yet superficial online interactions often replace the rich, meaningful relationships we could build locally. We believe digital efficiency saves time, but constant connectivity often extends work hours and fragments what should be our personal time. And we think personalization empowers us, when in fact algorithmic curation can narrow our worldview and limit those wonderful moments of serendipity. Practical steps to start today. You don't need to abandon technology. You need to redefine your relationship with it. Here are actionable steps to reclaim your attention. Conduct an attention audit. Track your digital habits for a week. Note which activities leave you energized versus drained. Create tech boundaries. Designate screen-free zones, bedroom, dining area, and times. For example, first or last hour of day. Optimize your devices. Turn off non-essential notifications. Move distracting apps to secondary screens or folders. Use app timers. Schedule unstructured time. Block 30 or 60 minutes daily for open-ended activity. Walking, daydreaming, or simply sitting quietly. Engage locally. Join a community group, volunteer, or start a neighborhood project. Cultivate slow practices. Adopt one activity that requires sustained, focused attention. Reading physical books, gardening, playing a musical instrument, cooking from scratch. Build collective habits. Organize regular device-free gatherings with friends or colleagues. Practice deep observation. Spend 5 or 10 minutes daily noticing details in your environment without reaching for your phone. Reclaiming your attention is an ongoing practice, not a one-time fix. Each time you choose presence over distraction, local connection over global noise, and process over product, you are building a life defined by your values, not someone else's algorithms. So, what small shift will you make today? Share your commitment in the comments below. And if this resonated with you, consider subscribing on more insights on living intentionally in a hyper-connected world. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and until then, stay free and unique on your journey to your personal true north.